Alright, well, it's off. And very, very heavy. I guarantee that thing weighs 100 pounds. I was straining to just get it from right here and drop it right there without breaking it. I also took the fuel pump off because last time it was giving me some shit trying to get it started pumping fuel. Once it starts pumping fuel, it's alright, but it's something in there sticky, so I'm gonna pull it apart and clean it up and redo the seats and all that. Radiator's not in bad shape. There's one crack. This ear has broken off. I don't know if you can see that rust line right there, but in there's a little crack, so it seeps right there. So I'm gonna have my buddy's dad weld that up, and the big crack at the bottom, and get this thing back together. Also got a new belt coming for it. The old belt was flying apart. I'm sure that belt hadn't been changed in about 40 years. This compressor was actually for a construction company, and they gave it to us in the, I don't know, I guess the early 80s, late 80s. Gave it to the museum, and I want to say at the time we had gotten it, it hadn't been run in years. Some guys got together, got it running, and they used it to start the big engine, and it's done its job over the last 20 years, running twice a year with very little maintenance, if any. And before, it was actually sitting in the grass right here underneath the trees. So it's done its time. It's time to give it some TLC and change the oil and everything and grease everything up. And another thing I noticed is the water pump bearing shot, but the water pump does not leak at this time. So, you know, I mean, it would be rather hard for me to find a water pump for a 1938 Waukesha XAH engine, which apparently the XAH is pretty rare, because I was looking for an exhaust manifold for this thing a few years back and I could not find one to save my life. I found one complete engine, that was it. So, but yeah, it's pretty basic. I mean, you know, Waukesha 4-cylinder flathead XAH, about 30 to 40 horsepower, I think, with a big Ingersoll ran 3-cylinder piston style air compressor and a little air cooler, or air cooler in the back. The compressed air comes in here, goes through your valves, comes out here into this air cooler, for lack of a better term, and then goes back into the middle cylinder for some reason and gets pumped into this tank, the storage tank on this side. This side's the fuel tank, this side's the storage tank, and then out through the line and to this big white tank out here, which actually the white tank is going to get replaced by this big silver tank, because the tanks, both of the tanks actually, the one on the compressor and this one, are not in great shape. And you know, I mean, they're only holding 100 psi, but that tank goes at 100 psi and it's a big bomb basically. So yeah, that's what's going on here. I'm about to go work on a 42 Alice Chalmers Model B. I gotta rip the carburetor off of it and go get a rebuild kit, and then figure out what's wrong with the charging system. The generator is working, well, the generator is there and it looks like it's been rebuilt very recently, but it's not charging at all. So I gotta figure out what's wrong with that, and that's about it.